Colonel Vossenberg, thank you for agreeing to this meeting. It's General Vossenberg now, and if you must know, I only agreed to this meeting because you said the fate of Artoria Prime was at stake. Now, before this meeting goes any further, I must warn you that if there is any funny business, there are 3 artillery batteries trained on this position. At my command, they will level this entire area and no one will get out of here alive. Do you understand? Fear not, my old friend. We understand. Old friend? You must be mistaken. I do not believe we've met before, Space Marine. It is I, Cole, once your loyal and trusted commissar. Now I am a brother sergeant of the Angels Vermillion. Commissar Cole, by the Emperor, I did not think it was possible that you were still alive. I knew you had been captured in the early parts of the campaign. You, I will trust. Please, explain to me what is going on here. Very well, General, I will tell you. The original purpose for the Angels Vermillion coming to this planet was to gather new recruits. We needed those that had been forged in the crucible of war, honed in battle, to replenish our ranks quickly. We could not afford the time it would take to train a new neophyte. This radical approach brought the attention of the Inquisition. At first we thought this Inquisitor Glotkas was simply hunting us for our unorthodox way of gathering new recruits, claiming it was heresy. However, it soon became clear that he had an ulterior motive for taking such an interest in our chapter. After battles with the inquisitorial forces, we noticed that our gene seed was being harvested from our dead brothers, and then it became even more apparent that it was the gene seed he was after, when a shipment of our reserve gene seed, a huge quantity of it, was attacked and captured by the inquisitorial forces. Of course, we needed this in order to turn the recruits that we had gathered from Artoria into new Astartes. Gathering what was left of our chapter, we attacked Inquisitor Glotkas' personal estate. The coward fled before we could execute him, but we did find a data slate which contained vital information on what the Inquisitor was planning to do with our gene seed. And what does he plan, and how does this affect me and my men? In a twist of irony, it appears that the Inquisitor was not here to save you, but instead was here to do exactly the same thing that we were here for, to gather recruits for his experiments. Experiments? What experiments? The Angels Vermillion are a successor chapter to the Blood Angels. This means that within our gene seed there is the genetic flaw, the Black Rage. The Inquisitor wants to use the genetic flaw to create a new breed of soldier for the Imperium, a mindless host of rage zombies. If you do not believe me, please take a look at the data slate. As you can see, it is an inquisitorial one. We have not tampered with it in any way. By the Emperor, you are right. This is pure heresy. This Inquisitor is a complete madman. He must be stopped. I will not sit by idly whilst he turns my men and the citizens of Artoria into puppets for his own shadow games. What can we do to stop him? Individually, we can have no hope of defeating the Inquisitor, but together there is a chance. We combine our forces and launch one final all-out attack on the Inquisitorial Rage Zombie production facility. Then, we can destroy it once and for all, and drive the Inquisitor from this planet. You will save your men, we will save our chapter, and if the Emperor wills it, recover our gene seed, and begin to rebuild our chapter once more. There's an old Terran saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." I agree to your proposal. Let us gather our forces and try and drive the Inquisitor from Artoria once and for all. May the Emperor be with us.
We have 1,000 points of Blood Angels allied with 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. Starting with the Blood Angels, we have a 6-man tactical squad, Alpha Team. We also have a 5-man tactical squad, Bravo Team, and they are in a Razorback with a twin-linked assault cannon. We have Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto, this time armed with a frag cannon, heavy flamer and power fist. We also have a Storm Raven with multi-melter, twin-linked las cannon and 4 Bloodstrike missiles. 2 Bile Predators, both with twin-linked assault cannon and heavy bolter sponsons. We also have Brother Captain Atreides. He is in his classic Terminator armour with his power claws, the Claws of Drogon. And here we have Colonel Vossenberg's Imperial Guard detachment. we have Vossenberg himself, leading a command squad with a regimental standard and 3 plasma guns, and he is in a Chimera with 2 heavy bolters. We have a veteran squad with a heavy flamer, 2 melter guns and carapace armour, and they are in a Chimera with a multi-laser and a hull heavy flamer. We have 2 more squads kitted out identically, and again 2 Chimeras with multi-lasers and hull heavy flamers, and we have 2 Hellhounds. So this Imperial Guard force is in a formation, and it is in the Emperor's Blade Assault Company formation. And this is 2,000 points of Imperial forces. So here we have the final forces of Inquisitor Glotkas. What remains of his private army is now all amassed in one spot. So over here we have the Scion forces. We have a squad with double flamer, deep striking in, another squad with double flamer, deep striking in, and a command squad with quad melter, also deep striking. We have 3 squads in Taurox primes. Every Taurox prime has got a twin linked Taurox Gatling cannon and hotshot volley gun. We have a double hotshot melter gun squad, 2 plasma, 2 melter gun squad with the Inquisitor himself, who is in his classic loadout of Nemesis Demon Hammer, Cybolt Stormbolter and Terminator armor. And finally we have another command squad with quad plasma. We have a Valkyrie with multi-laser and twin missile, with a squad of 8 Scions with double plasma. Moving on to the Space Marine detachment of this force, which will be represented by Arbites. We have a Storm Talon gunship with twin-linked las cannon and twin-linked assault cannon. 2 squads of scout bikers. Both squads of scout bikers have got triple Astartes grenade launcher, and we also have a Space Marine librarian here today with 4 small. And finally we have our scout squads, 2 with shotguns with sergeants with power maul in 2 Landspeeder Storms, and the final one, sergeant with a storm bolter, a heavy bolter in the squad. Scouts themselves have got bolters, and they're also in a Landspeeder Storm. So there we are, guys. 2 armies, 2,000 points, ready to decide the fate of Artoria. Let's see what happens. So here we have the field of battle for the finale of the Blood and Shadows campaign. Today we will be doing another custom scenario, and it will involve the Blood Angels and Imperial Guard forces attacking and attempting to destroy the facility of the Inquisitor, the main production facility of these rage zombies. So let's take a look at what the Blood Angels and Guard are going to have to try and do today. The objectives are split up into 2. So the first stage, the Imperial forces will have to try and destroy these turbine generators that are powering the facility. If they manage to destroy all 3, then that will be a draw for them, because even though they haven't destroyed the facility itself, they have knocked out its power and essentially taken it out of action for the foreseeable future. However, once they have hopefully blown up these objectives and fought their way past, they'll have to make it to the main inquisitorial production facility, which is this large tower here. If they can get someone into that building for 1 full turn, they will blow it up, destroy the facility, and save Artoria Prime. So that's the mission today. Let's take a look at deployment. So, the Blood Angel Guard forces have deployed a large armoured wall right across their deployment zone. Imperial Guard forces are mainly concentrated on the right flank, with all 4 veteran squads present here. We then move on to a centre of Blood Angels with the 2 Baals and tactical squad in Assault Cannon Razorback, and finally we have both Hellhounds on the flank here, Old Smoky and Chef's Cooker. Let's take a look at the Inquisitor. So here we have the forces of the Inquisitor. A large central fast attack force over here made up of both bike squads, the Inquisitorial Taurox Prime with one of the command squads in, and a Arbites combat squad there. We also have here another Dakar Prime and another combat squad in a Landspeeder Storm. And finally we have the heavy bolter team and the hotshot volley team in their respective transports there. So that's what we've got for you today, guys. It's going to be a lightning fast scenario, both sides heavily armoured up, both sides with a lot of fast moving firepower. So let's see what happens in this finale battle. Turn 1 movement and scout moves for the inquisitorial forces has been very quick. Everything has just blasted forward, absolutely desperately trying to defend the power production for the facility. So we've got a main push over here and a secondary spearhead over here. Let's see what they can do in turn 1 shooting phase. So turn 1 psychic and shooting done, and the end of turn 1 for the inquisitorial forces. A smattering of psychic on this squad here. They had ignores cover from perfect timing and prescience for rerolls to hit, but unfortunately they were just unable to crack the front arm of this Hellhound. No glances were made from those Astarte grenade launchers. Everything else pretty much turbo boosted up of, you know, in various amounts over here, and the same can be said over here. Another armoured spearhead trying to get a flanking manoeuvre on these attacking Guard Blood Angels forces. But that's it, so no damage done turn 1. We'll have to see what these Blood Angels and Guardsmen can do against this lightning quick attack. So here we have turn 1 movement for the Guard and Angel forces. This Hellhound has just shimmied up a small amount, whereas this one has blasted through the ruins out through the side and is ready to barbecue some inquisitorial forces. Unfortunately, this Razorback with its tactical squad in did immobilise itself, so that's not going anywhere this turn or for the rest of the game. These Baals push forward, ready to unleash a plethora of heavy firepower onto those unlucky bikers. This Chimera decides to stay put for now, and over here the Guard forces have got into position to counter-attack this flanking force. So the armoured wall, guys, the armoured wall has started to move forward. Let's see what hurt they can lay down in turn 1 Guard Angel shooting phase. Turn 1 shooting for the Angels and the Guard has been pretty effective. Over here, the Taurox Prime was gunned down by one of the Baals, and the guys have disembarked over here. Various flaming from Hellhounds and the other Baals and multi-lasers has reduced this bike squad down to 1 guy, and the Librarian has taken a wound. So a lot of firepower onto that flank so far. Over here, the combined fire of the Chimeras has managed to destroy this speeder, and it exploded, causing 2 guys to die. But that's it, so let's see what happens in turn 2 Inquisitorial forces. Okay, turn 2 Inquisitorial forces. Bit of a mash-up there, everything just piling forward. We're going to try and melt a gun and plasma gun things and assault whatever's left over in the subsequent phases. Over here, this Taurox has come forward to get a side view and get on the side armour of that Chimera. The Air Force has come in to provide supporting fire where it's needed. Melter guns have deep struck down here. Flamers have deep struck here. And these Inquisitorial scouts here have taken a flank position on that Chimera. So, Tactical Doctrine has been activated this turn. Let's see what the Inquisitorial forces can do in their turn 2 shooting. So pretty blistering counter-attack by the Inquisitorial forces. Both Hellhounds were wrecked but not destroyed. Perfect penetrating hits, not exploding the vehicles. Over here, Melter Squad came down here and again just wrecked the vehicle with 4 penetrating hits and another not explode. Not quite as good now because there's a pile of angry Artorian veterans ready to take revenge. Over here, a crack grenade was able to get a glance, but apart from that, nothing. And over here, the Taurox Prime with its Gatling cannon and hotshot volley gun were able to wreck that vehicle. But that's it. So a lot of damage done, but The Blood Angels and Guard are going to get their revenge now. They have rolled their reserves. The Storm Raven is coming in with heavy reinforcements. So let's see what they can do in turn 2. So here we are, Guard Angels, turn 2. They've started to break out of their deployment zone, breaking through the Inquisitorial forces. This Chimera with Vossenberg inside is preparing to unleash some heavy bolts of firepower onto these flanking forces. Over here, this Chimera, backed up by this veteran squad, has got its eyes on this Torx Prime holding the centre. The Storm Raven has zoomed straight down the centre, and it has got a target lock on that Valkyrie. The Baal is aggressively pushing up, bringing its machine guns to bear on these flanking forces. And finally, this Baal has come around here to destroy this Scion Melter squad. And these veterans have come forward. They have their eyes on the head of the Inquisitor security forces and his bikers. So let's see what happens in the Guard Angels shooting turn 2. Guard Angels shooting phase turn 2. They were hit hard. They have hit back even harder. Over here, this veteran squad unloaded absolutely everything into the head of security and his biker boys, and it came down to the last melter gun shot. He jinked. He had a 50-50 chance. He didn't make it. So the Librarian and that squad of bikers is down. Over here, the Baal unloaded into the Melter command squad. One guy survived by going to ground. Over here, Vossenberg and his Chimera shot into this scout squad. Only one was brought down. Over here, this veteran squad using 2 melter guns got 2 penetrating hits on this Torx Prime, blew it up. They lost 5 of their own number, and then from the explosion and also fire from that Chimera, this squad was brought down to 1 guy, but that man has passed his leadership check. But the big news of the turn is this Storm Raven must be a descendant of the Wings of Sanguinius, because it came in with a single multi-melter shot. It just destroyed the Valkyrie, and only 2 members of that squad managed to survive the fiery crash and burn. So there we go. Both sides have done some pretty bad damage to each other, but now we shall see what the Inquisitorial forces can do in turn 3. Turn 3 movement for Inquisitorial forces. These scouts have moved up. They're not quite in crack grenade range of that Chimera, but this speeder with a combat squad of Arbites, Inquisitorial scouts should we say, are there ready to try and shotgun, crack grenade, heavy bolter and even Cerberus launcher this Chimera down. Over here we have these Scions pressing forward. They're going to try and engage at long range these veterans here. This man is holding his ground. He's going to try and double tap some of these lowly guardsmen down, show what the difference between a mere veteran and an Inquisitorial Stormtrooper is. Over here it continues to be a bit of a clusterfuck, to be honest, where this Inquisitorial Cutter, this Storm Talon, has got its guns lined up. It will be able to shoot into that Baal or maybe that Razorback, depending on where its fire support is needed most. As you can see, this Torx has gunned forward. The Torx itself has sights on these veterans. The Scions inside have their plasma guns ready to take out any number of these 3 targets. Maybe even support against that Baal, which we have a biker and another scout squad trying to destroy. Over here we have a executed final reserve deep strike squad with double flamer ready to burn these veterans. We also have a speeder and the Inquisitor's retinue here ready to unleash deadly firepower into that Razorback. And here's that last scout squad. Shotguns ready. They're going to try and power maul and crack grenade that final Baal down. And last but not least, 2 plasma gun guys have moved forward, ready to provide supporting fire where it is needed. So guys, it's going to be an important turn for the Sounds. They're going to have to do a perfect scalpel attack on these Guardian Angel forces. Let's see what they can do. So blistering turn by the Inquisitorial forces. The Razorback here was blown up and the guys inside were massacred by the Torx Prime and the various squads over here. These guys were strafed down by the Storm Talon and also flamed by this Inquisitorial squad here. So a lot of damage done there. They also lost a few in the explosion as well. Plasma guns here were able to destroy this Baal easily. Again, just wrecked, not exploded, just precision shots. These guys ran over here, these guys ran over here, and this Landspeeder Storm and the Scouts were able to wreck that Chimera over there. However, that is it for now. Let's see. It has been a brutal turn, but the Blood Angels have got a lot of stuff left that they can bring to bear. So let's see what they can do in their turn 3. Movement for the Blood Angels and Guard forces. So these remaining veterans, the survivors of the Firestorm last turn, have moved forward and they are ready to unleash some hurt on the Inquisitor and his retinue. Over here, Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto has descended from the Storm Raven and he is ready to bring the hurt and clear this power generator. Brother Captain Atreides is here to assist him. The Imperial Guard veterans have done a pretty good job actually. They've pushed forward. They are about to secure this objective over here. They've unleashed another squad and Vossenberg's unit ready to destroy this speeder with the combat squad in. From last turn they were able to disable this power generator, so they only have 2 more to take care of. Let's see what they can do in their shooting phase. Guardian Angels. These survivors, unfortunately, they got a good number of shotgun hits on the Inquisitor, but his Terminator armor just shrugged it off, and the Melter gun unfortunately got a 2 to hit, so the Inquisitor still lives. Over here, the frag cannon and heavy flamer just cleared out the Scions and Scouts that were defending this power generator. Over here, the speeder was destroyed and the squad was forced to disembark. And over here, a lot of firepower was thrown into this Torx, but it still lives for now. However, it has lost its Torx Gatling cannon and is immobilized. So, the Guard and Angels have some interesting assaults, because this Scion here went to ground and took an entire veteran squad's worth of shooting. And we also have Brother Captain Leto, who really wants to slice and dice. So we'll be back at the end of the assault phase for the Guard Angels. Assault phase went pretty predictably. Brother Captain Leto just sliced and diced the last biker boy, and these guys just came in and clubbed that final Scion over there down. So let's see what the Inquisitorial forces can do in retaliation on Inquisitorial forces turn 4 movement phase. These Inquisitorial Scouts are ready to shotgun and assault Vossenberg's unit. Over here, these Scions have moved in to double tap range against this veteran unit. This lonely lad is just moving up, go try and support his fellows. These Scions are ready to burn and attack these remaining survivors with support from this immobilized Torx Prime. The inhabitants of that Torx Prime have got out in double tap range of Brother Captain Leto, and the Inquisitorial Cutter, the Storm Talon, has got into range and side arc of Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto. The sneaky bastard's just gone over here. Some heavy bolter shots and service launcher will be coming the way of these guardsmen. So we are set up, lots of firing lines have been prepared and the assault doctrine has been activated. So let's see what the Inquisitorial forces can do in their turn 4. So the shooting phase, the Inquisitorial forces was pretty brutal. These scouts shotgunned into Vossenberg's squad and cut 3 of them down. Their carapace armor just failing to save them. Over here, a couple were gunned down by this Scion squad, and a couple more gunned down by the scouts with uncovering fire. The Storm Talon over here, with its las cannon, was able to get a glance on Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto, but its assault cannon was unable to find purchase. However, the big news is a combined fire from this squad and this squad into Brother Captain Atreides has gunned him down. It came down to the last wound. His Iron Halo protected him to the very end, but it was that last wound that did bring him down. And of course, this heavy bolted and Cerberus launched into this squad and managed to kill 2 or 3 of them. So both sides are battered and bloodied, but the Blood Angels have managed to deactivate another power generator. They only have to deactivate one more, and then they need a clear run at the facility. There is nothing defending it. If they can take out that power generator and then the facility, they should be able to win the game. But they only have 2 turns to do it potentially. So let's see what they can do in Blood Angels Guard, turn 5. So this assault squad came in before Vossenberg was even able to strike. Him and his companion were just bludgeoned down. However, is Vossenberg dead or is he just playing dead? We don't know yet. We'll have to see at the end of the campaign. Alright, let's see what the Blood Angels and Guard can do in their turn 4. The Blood Angels and Guard are giving it everything they've got. They really are down to their last squads now. These veterans clambered back inside their Chimera, which is reversing. Going to be putting down some covering fire against the pursuing Scions. This Storm Raven, which still contains a tactical squad, has backed up. Again, it's going to be firing its las cannon, covering fire, doing everything it can to try and secure that facility in the final turns. Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto is going to try and deactivate this pylon this turn, which will be the last pylon that needs to be deactivated. And these brave guardsmen have come over here to help provide a rear guard against this quite large force of Scions led by the Inquisitor, which are going to do everything they can to try and stop the Blood Angels and Guard in the last turns of the game. Let's see what the Guard and Blood Angel forces can do in their short phase. But effective. The Chimera with its multi-laser and lasgun arrays was able to kill 2 of the scouts here, and they have fallen back, but they will rally with and they shall know no rules next turn. Over here, the melter gun and the las cannon of those units were able to make the Storm Talon jink, but it hasn't taken any damage. And Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto has been able to deactivate this pylon. So now all that remains is the Blood Angels have to try and destroy this facility. Is there much that the Inquisitorial forces can do to stop them? We'll have to see in turn 5. So the Inquisitorial forces, those that know they won't make it back to the facility in time, have secured these ruins and put down a base of fire. They tried to do some damage to Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto, but with plenty of hits, but no 6s on those plasma guns. This squad of Scions over here, however, executed a perfect Firestorm Saxon protocol on these guardsmen, and they have been destroyed. And this lonely lad over here just charged in, used a crack grenade to get a glance, then charged in, and 2 more glances on that Chimera, and he has destroyed it. So those guys have disembarked. The Storm Talon has come zooming over in an attempt to try. It did try and damage the Storm Raven, but was unable to. And this cheeky guy over here, this objective secured transport, has flown and turbo boosted as fast as it can over to this objective. So the Marines in their turn 5 will have to destroy this Landspeeder Storm in order to secure the facility. Let's see if they can do it. So the Guard Angels remaining forces have moved into position, doing everything they can to try and secure that facility. Brother Captain Dreadnought Leto, who is in command of these forces now, has moved towards the hovering Storm Talon. He's going to try and destroy that. These veterans have moved forward. They're going to provide fire either against the Storm Talon or against the Landspeeder Storm, depending on where their fire is needed. These tactical marines have disembarked and they are ready to unleash the wrath of Sanguinius on this pesky inquisitorial transport. So we're going to do some live action camera stuff now. So the las cannon is shooting at the Landspeeder Storm over here. It got a hit. It got a pen. I'm now going to try and jink on a 4-up. I have jinked. So multi-melter coming in. It has hit. It has penned. Another 4-up jink coming. Yep, another jink has been made. This thing is just jinking from side to side. One Bloodstrike missile has shot. It has penned. 4-up jink. No, got a 1. What is the result of the Bloodstrike missile? A 6, open topped, plus its AP2. That transport is absolutely destroyed. What is the distance of the explosion? 4 inches. It's going to catch the Marines. It's not going to make a huge difference in the battle here, guys, but let's see if we can take a few of them with us. 4 wounds done. 3-up saves. Passed every single one. If they might have had to, if they'd lost all their guys, then they might have taken a leadership check and could have fled, and that would have really jeopardised the Blood Angel plans. But it's gone, completely destroyed. Johnny, do you just want to do some pot shots at this thing? Just try and unleash some vengeance. 2 melter guns, double 1, doesn't matter. You just want to do your assault over here? Oh, frag cannon first. 2 hit, where 1, no damage because armor. Oh no, that is a glance. It's armor 10 on the back. I will jink for a 3-up jink. Pass it. You're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, can't jink it. It's a cover save, so it has taken a wound. Sorry, that's my mistake there, guys. The heavy flame didn't do anything. He has made the distance he needs to charge. So what are you unleashing on us here? Blender claws. Okay, hitting on 3s. That's a lot of hits there. And what's your strength?
Over 10.
Strength 10. Oh, it's not a blender claw, it's just a power fist in this case, isn't it? Well, it is completely destroyed. Nothing it's going to be able to do. And that's it, guys. I don't think in turns 6 and 7, if we even continue, we do, but in turns 6 and 7, we're not going to be able to get any inquisitorial forces over to that facility. The Blood Angels have secured it, and the inquisitorial presence on Artoria has been wiped out. However, there are quite a few remaining inquisitorial forces, so I reckon that Glotkas is going to maybe come back one day and reap his revenge. We haven't seen the last of him. Hope you guys have enjoyed the Blood and Shadows campaign. Me and Johnny have really enjoyed making it, and I'll see you guys in the future.
Well, all in all, a good day. The Inquisitor has been driven from this planet, and his heretical facility has been destroyed. Well then, what now? Well, friend, I have one more proposal for you. The Angels Vermillion stand on the edge of extinction, and the original purpose for us coming here was to find new recruits, those which have been forged in battle and hardened in the crucible of war. The men of the Mordian Iron Guard under your command and the Artorian PDF forces have more than proven themselves to be heroic, selfless, courageous defenders of the Imperium. We propose that Artoria Prime become a recruiting world for our chapter. That is overwhelming. What would it entail? Every few years our ship would come by and pick the most promising recruits to become neophytes in our chapter. Of course, Artoria Prime would come under the protection of the Angels Vermillion. Any time that you became under attack, our chapter would be there to defend you. Well, I must say, it sure beats you coming down here and attacking us completely unprovoked. I accept. Then it is done. I am sure we will see each other soon again, my old friend, and once more we shall fight side by side.